APC. Give us a credible panel, and General Buhari will come for a debate.
All right, Mr. Londu, just hold on a minute. Hold your thoughts. We need to take a quick break, but we'll be back and let you respond to what Mr. Wahab has raised. So that will be when we return. Please join us again. Welcome back to Nigeria 2015. Let's take a quick look at the headlines now with Ayotunde Balu.
Thank you very much, Chamberlain. The judiciary is beginning to put its house in order in preparation for the general elections, when the battle is expected to shift to the courts. Now, to this end, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Mahmood Mohammed, has inaugurated the 2015 Elections Petition Tribunals for the 36 states of the Federation and indeed the Federal Capital Territory. The Chief Justice warned that the National Judicial Council will not spare anyone found wanting in the cause of discharging their duties. Now, the President has promised to revamp the Ajaokuta Steel Company in Kogi State if re-elected for a second term. President Goodluck Jonathan was speaking at a meeting with traditional rulers in Kogi State just before he headed to the People's Democratic Party rally in Lokoja, the state capital. According to the President, the solid minerals in the state will be maximally tapped to provide jobs for the people of Kogi during his second term in office. As Nigerians count down to the general elections, the Ogun State Governor Ibikule Amosu has challenged the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to ensure residents of the state get their permanent voters' cards to enable them elect candidates of their choice in the coming elections. He said this during his re-election campaign at Obafemi Owode local government in Ogun Central Senatorial District of the state, while urging the residents to vote for him and other candidates on the platform of the APC. The governor, however, said many Nigerians may be disenfranchised, going by the current development being witnessed in the distribution of the permanent voter cards. And on the foreign scene, the International Criminal Court, that's the ICC, has ruled that genocide wasn't committed by Serbia and Croatia against each other in the War of Secession from the then Yugoslavia. The Croatian town of Vukovar was devastated when it was occupied by Serbs for 3 months in 1991. Tens of thousands of ethnic Croats were displaced and about 260 Croat men were detained and killed. Now, the Croatian government had alleged that Serbia committed genocide there and elsewhere back in the year 1991. Now, the claim was countered by Serbia over the expulsion of more than 200,000 Serbs from Croatia. Judge Peter Tomka dismissed both the Croatian claim and the Serbian counter claim on the matter. So there you have it. Those are the news headlines. It's still Nigeria 2015. We're still talking presidential debates, to be or not to be. Chamberlain, back to you.
Well, thank you, Ian. We're just about to continue finding out from our guest. As a matter of fact, Mr. G.T. Ogunye has since joined us ever since. Thank you for coming on this evening.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to be here this evening. Thanks.
And then Mr. Catch Ononuju, let's check if he's still with us. He joins us via phone this evening.
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, you were going to make a point to respond to Mr. Wahab's comment before we went on the break. Could you go ahead, please?
Yes, what I was trying to tell him is that the arguments are in two folds. One, the first is between the parties. The parties present their manifesto to the Nigerian people. The second is the character of the head of the government being proposed by the parties. And that's where the president's contest comes in. Nigerians want to know, and we know the only problem that the Goodluck administration has had has been the incoherence of its vast array of information disseminating organs. The APC has not given nothing to Nigerians in regards to what it will do. No, it has no agenda. It just wants power due to an internal PDP crisis arising from a tribal demand for power. And we have made it that we want this country. We will continue to embrace democracy. We are the party for the market. We are the ones that have grown the economy to become today the third largest growth player next year, as reported internationally. Contrary to the pedestrian assertions, we have brought Nigeria to its longest period of economic expansion and also its longest period of political stability. We believe we have done a lot in agriculture. And as we remove people from those corruption chains, that's how you will add to the numbers of those who fight against the government.
Okay, Mr.
We
Nanoju, just hang on a minute. I have Mr. Jiti Ogunye who has joined us. He's a legal practitioner. Let's also get his perspective on this matter. Mr. Ogunye, I mean, looking at Twitter, we see trending now, hashtag Nigerians demand debate. What do you think about this call for debate or not?
The call for debate is reasonable and necessary. Political campaigns, debates, discussions of the issues are all aspects of a credible electioneering process, which is also a part of a democratic process. In a democracy, you argue, you debate, you discuss, you walk, you act. And therefore, on the eve of an election like this, it's important that we encourage as much debates as possible. As a matter of fact, Nigerians before now have been castigating the political parties for not discussing the salient issues enough. Therefore, in my view, debate is very important. In the prevailing circumstances, however, we have a context. And what's the context here? A presidential debate was planned, and the candidate of a major political party, the APC, declined to participate in that debate, giving reasons for declining. Now, the backdrop is that between 1999 and now, we've rarely not had the kind of robust presidential debate which you alluded to in your intro, citing examples from the United States and England. You recall that in the last election in the United States, presidential election, there were debates within the party, intra-party debates.
Even before the
inter-party debates. And the debates were so intense, and everybody followed that debate. As a matter of fact, the debates were considered so important that there were 3 presidential debates, not just one, that we're quarreling over now. After the first one, which was adjudged won by Romney, a sitting president of the United States had to go into seclusion, and there were rehearsals. And we're talking about a president who was a sitting president whose mother tongue, so to speak, was American English, and who ordinarily was at home, with American English, could speak. He was a writer, he was a thinker, he written books. His thoughts are quite lucid. And yet, he felt that it was necessary for him to go into seclusion and rehearse and all that. And by the second debate, people said, oh, he performed well, and then the clincher, which was the final debate. The point I'm making is that, unlike elsewhere, here, since 1999, we've not had this kind of debate. In 1999, there was no debate. General Olusegun Obasanjo didn't show up. Chief Olufai debated himself. He's on record. 2003, there was none. 2007, there was none. 2011, of course, there was a debate. 3 candidates showed up at the debate. The president, this incumbent president, didn't show up. And he ended up showing up in a monologue, which was labeled a debate. That's what happened in 2011. But I want to say that the reason why those who are traditionally not be debating in their party, and I'm saying this not as a partisan would say it, are angry for a debate now is because there's a thinking that that could be a game changer. The mood is being looked at. The situation in the country is being looked at. A lot of things are being thrown into the possibility of stopping the election. And so let's have this debate. Those who are not famous for debating before have become debate desperados. So that is the context. And so for me, we must separate the issue of principle of having a debate and the issue of partisanship that is attending this debate right now. I will debate anybody, anywhere. That's me. Whether you are a hostile audience, I will debate you anywhere. But you see, I'm not a presidential candidate of a party that perhaps has to consult widely and then consider the need for me to debate when those who are convening the debate have used their media to attack me personally. I don't have that body. That's me. But the point I'm making is that, as a matter of principle, debate is important in an electionary process, which, as we call the festival of democracy, of some sort. These debates, these campaigns, they are celebratory in nature. In fact, they are the garnish of a democratic process. Right. They are the flower of the democratic process, and they are incidents that make the process very, very attractive.
Okay, just hold on a minute. I need to get across to our correspondent, Pius. Pius is standing by to bring us up to speed concerning what's happening where he is. Hello, Pius.
Nasarawa State, like every other state in the Federation, has had the opportunity to host the two leading presidential candidates in Nigeria. The presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, General Muhammadu Buhari, and President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who was also in Nasarawa State. Before their visits to Nasarawa State, political activities had hitherto been on the level of consultative meetings and press briefing. But with their coming to flag up the presidential and governorship rallies in Lafia, political activities have really picked up, and activities are going on in every part of the state as candidates seek voters' support to win and emerge at the elections. The INEC in the state has said it has distributed over 75% of the cards, and we hope that with the distribution from the ward level, more people will be able to access their cards before the election starts. One of the possible issues also we've seen is that Nasarawa State enjoyed relative peace as it is compared to last year where there were crises here and there. That there is every assurance to residents of the state to stay back and participate in this forthcoming general election, because since the beginning of 2015, there hasn't been any incident of crisis, nor even the political campaign that started among all the candidates and across board. We have not had any political violence in the state. So the state is peaceful, it's stable, and ready to go forward for this election. From Nasarawa State, it is back to you in Lagos.
Well, thank you, Pius, reporting from Nasarawa State. Well, we have Tokwe, who is also standing by in Imo State. Or Tokwe, what's going on?
Yes, on the permanent voter cards, it's been an issue. We could record that INEC already extended the date by the date of the PVC collection, but there are still issues in Imo State. Because this afternoon, when we visited some polling centers where people gather to get their permanent voter cards, I think there are still some problems.
What about the campaign situation over there, Tokwe?
We have 16 political parties campaigning and contending for different elective positions in the state. But out of the 16, we have 3 top contenders. We have the ruling party in the state, the APC, we have PDP, and we have the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA. For the APC, we have the incumbent governor, Rochas Okorocha, seeking re-election into office. Then for the PDP, we have the Right Honorable Emeka